Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Lazada University. So, thank you so much for spending the next hour with us. If you've attended episodes 1 and 2, welcome back. Okay, so today we are following Juan's journey as he discovers that making a profit isn't just about finding a cheap supplier. Okay, so it's about understanding every cost before placing an order. It should be worth every penny. Kailangan sulit na sulit yung binabayad natin. So, yeah, throughout today's session, feel free to ask questions in the chat because we'll answer them live later. So bago tayo magsimula, sino sa atin ngayon or sino sa inyo yung mga returnees from episode 1 and episode 2? Can you type Sourcy in the chat? We just want to know kung ilan tayo na nandito ngayon na nakapanood from the beginning till our episode today. Can I see some Sourcy in the chat? Yeah. Oh my. Omri Pickleball is in the house. Hello. Thank you for supporting us all through our episodes till today. Sana kasama ka pa rin namin on our last episode next week. Si Omri lang ba yung nandito from the beginning? Sige, maghihintay ako ng sagot ninyo. So while I'm waiting, for the first time attendees, we pin our Sourcy link in the chat. So if you want to know more about Sourcy, what we do, or the value we can bring to your brand, or if you want to request for our trends tool to know trend insights, kung ano ba yung mga hinahanap ng mga consumers natin, or if you want to try our merch tool to know exactly kung meron kang proof of concept and you want to see how it would look like with your logo, so you can use our merch tool for that. Or if you want to source your winning product, so you can click on the Sourcy link in the chat if you want to know more about us. Okay, I think si Omri lang yung nandito from episode 1 and 2. Pero baka nahihiya lang iba. Kung nahihiya yung iba, pwedeng dot na lang yung ilagay niyo sa chat. If it's too lengthy for you to type the word Sourcy, dot na lang. Sige na, tulungan niyo naman ako to get to know you guys more. Yes. And if you're a first time attendee, can you put two dots instead on the chat so then we get to know kung ilan ba yung bago na ngayon lang makakapanood. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for your time here. And special mention to Omri Pickleball. So while we're waiting for everyone else to join, so let's start first with a quick question. So now, after receiving your first supplier quotation, so pag nakuha mo na yung quotation mo from a supplier, ano yung bagay na nakakapag-surprise sa atin? So what surprises you the most? Is it the freight cost? Is it the customs fee, marketplace fee, or is it the MOQ? Or baka naman all of the above? So there are no wrong answers, but maybe you can help me get to know kung ano talaga yung nakakapag-surprise sa inyo when you're receiving a quotation. You can type your answers in the chat. Okay? So, okay. Omri Pickleball says freight cost and MOQ. Ayan. Ito yung mga usual talaga na laging concern ng mga consumers whenever they receive or compare quotations from different suppliers. And that's a valid answer. Again, there are no wrong. Yeah, language barrier. Minsan yung mga quotations natin, because most of the manufacturers are also based out of Philippines. Minsan naka-Chinese, yung language, or even when you're talking to the supplier itself, it's always the language barrier. It's so hard to understand kung ano yung gusto nila talagang sabihin. Okay, but that's why we are here, because we're going to connect um, those pain points to the solutions that Sourcy can provide with the help of Lazada University, of course, who is our main host or main sila yung nag-arrange ng event ito for all of us. Okay? So meron pa ba? Okay. Let's go to our next question. Do you know your real profit per unit today? Kung seller kayo, do you actually know your real profit unit per unit today? So if your answer is a rough estimate or you have no idea, so you're exactly who this webinar is for. So by the end of today's session, you'll know how to calculate your margins confidently. Okay. So today we'll learn three practical skills. So first, how to calculate your true landed cost. So when we say landed cost, kasama na dun lahat. From your product, from the freight, customs, and even after sales. You could say that if that's even included in your agreement. And then second, how to negotiate um, without damaging supplier relationship. Kasi minsan, we wanted the cheapest option, di ba? So minsan, baka doon ma-damage natin yung price if relationship with supplier for just looking for the cheapest price if barat masyado yung pag-negotiate natin. And lastly, we'll be able to analyze a real quotation together. So you and me and our speaker later on will help you analyze the real code together so then you can apply the process on your own business. Okay? So yun yung agenda natin for today. All right. So before we proceed further, I just wanted to inform everyone that we're giving out $100 USD voucher for samples. The good news is Sourcy.ai, our link, you can access it for free. Wala kayong kailangan bayaran. You can play around it. You can run different recotations for the product idea that you have in mind. And if you're okay with the result, then you can get $100 USD voucher that you can use for that sampling. And kung okay siya, kung makadating yung product and you're okay, satisfied with the quality, then you'll get additional 5% discount on your bulk order. O, di ba? Ang saya sa makakakuha ng discount sa sample and sa bulk order. Gusto nyo ba yon? Can you say yes on in the comment sa chat box para malaman ko kung sino excited dito sa freebie or sa binibigay naming discount sa inyo. Take note, this is to empower everybody with the product idea that you have in mind. Because as a seller, we need to innovate palagi, di ba? Okay, so let's do a quick recap. Ayan, may interesado. May nag-yes sa $100 $100 USD voucher for sample. Who else? AJ Trading and Omri. Yes na yes sa $100 USD voucher and 5% discount on your first bulk order. Wala na bang may gusto nun? Si AJ Trading and Omri Pickleball lang? Sa mga kakapasok lang? Type yes in the chat if you want to receive $100 or $100 voucher for your first sample. And 5% discount on your bulk order. Hey, sige, you can just type in yes in the chat even if nag-proceed na tayo to our episode today, okay? So far, si AJ Trading and si Omri Pickleball pa lang. All right. So now, I just to give you a quick recap sa mga kakanood lang at kakarating lang ngayon, we want to show you our recap on the first episode. So Juan found a winning product, okay, which is the Fricep tumbler, similar to a Walla style. And on our episode 2, he found a reliable supplier. So nakahanap na siya ng supplier na match doon sa specs na hinahanap niya for the tumbler. And then today, he thinks it's about to make over 100,000 pesos in profit. Totoo kaya yon? So soon we'll see why thousands of sellers lose money despite having a great product. So makikita natin ngayon kung lugi ka ba sa inilabas mong pera. Minsan lugi pa tayo despite of having the right product itself, and we'll get to know why in the next slides. Okay, so for now, let's watch this video from our CEO, Carl Chan.
What Sourcy does is really simple. We help consumer brands develop and create new products. We can turn any product idea that you have into a physical reality. You just need to describe what you are trying to develop to our AI agent, and it will basically go out to do trend research for you on social media and e-commerce, identify the viral product trends in your product category, and then it will turn the trends into manufacturable specs down to the fabric, the leather, the stitching, the printing, and then finally, it will reach out to hundreds of factories to negotiate and discuss the MOQ, the unit price, to make sure the product is made and shipped to you at the lowest cost in the shortest time possible. So everything from ideation to production to quality control to shipping is done and put on a silver platter. So even if you don't have a very big in-house sourcing team, you can still launch dozens of products every single month. That's what Sourcy does.
Okay, thank you, Carl Chen. So now let me officially introduce Gail Bangeles, who is our growth lead of Sourcy Philippines. She has reviewed hundreds of sourcing quotations across Southeast Asia and helps businesses optimize sourcing costs. So she's not just a partner for brands, but also for new upcoming sellers who wanted to make their idea into a physical product. Okay, Gail, over to you.
Thank you, Ash. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. And once again, thank you for joining us today. Okay. Um, Hang on. Let me just say hello to everybody na nandito ngayon. For all those who are excited to start the negotiation and price optimization webinar, please type Sourcy in the chat. Okay? So kung excited na kayo to start, please type Sourcy in the chat so we can start. It will be like your passcode. So we can start with the knowledge sharing. Right. So once again, we want this webinar to be very interactive. So later we will have activities. I will let you or I will test your math skills kasi may mga numbers tayo today. And then we will have problem solving skills as well. So please prepare your calculator, prepare your simple math because later we will use it to analyze how to optimize your profit by the end of the webinar this afternoon. And also, please continue to signify if you want to avail of the $100 US. Okay, so thank you, Big Bang Tactical, for commenting Sourcy. That means ready na siya to learn. So again, before I start, like what Ash mentioned earlier, we are offering an exclusive deal for all Lazada sellers who wants to build their own brand or who wants to add to their existing SKUs. So you can avail of a 100 USD free sample voucher. Also, a 5% discount on your bulk order later. So we have a link there. Where you can go to the website and start sourcing. Tas mamaya, we will show a QR code. It will direct you to the website as well. So if you're happy to explore products and source products through Sourcy, please click the link that is in your chat right now. Big Bang Tactical and Omri Pickleball are ready. So let's proceed to our topic for today. Okay, so for everybody's information, just a little bit of a step back. Nung episode 1, we talked about our trends tool and merch tool and how we were able to help Juan identify his winning product. On episode 2 naman, you saw our concierge bot, which is an AI-driven but human-led solution for sellers like you to find your next winning product or your next supplier easily and mas mabilis through the concierge bot. Ngayon, since one already have or found his supplier, now we will assess kung paano ba ni Juan ma-maximize yung profit niya with his ideal winning product in mind. So let's all imagine our main character, Juan. So nakakita siya ng supplier who's offering that Owala tumbler here for 130 pesos only. And he plans to sell it for 499 pesos through his Lazada store. So ang basic math ni Juan, 499 minus 130 factory price equals 369 profit times 300 units na parang gusto niyang bilhin in the beginning because he was able to save nga around 100,000. He was thinking he will earn a profit of 110,700. So sabi niya, baka pwede na akong mag-quit ng job ko nito because I'll be earning 100,000 of profit in this first batch of items. So yung tanong ko sa inyo, because I know that you are all seasoned sellers, would you place this order? Yes or no? So type yes or no sa chat. Pupush nyo na ba to? Will you gamble your 100,000 pesos savings para na to start your own Owala tumbler business? Yes? Type yes if you're okay and no if you're not okay with it. Okay. All right. So, later we will identify kung yes or no or tama ba talaga kung ipupush ni Juan to, no? So then the invoice arrived. So this is from one of the suppliers that he chose. So the invoice states that, the selling price is 499, his ideal selling price, and then yung expected profit niya kanina is 369, right? Pero ito yung real case scenario. The selling price is 499. Yung factory cost, which means the cost fresh from the factory, is 130 pesos. Plus, meron pa palang freight na 100 pesos kasi of course he has to deliver the products from his supplier to the Philippines. And then meron pang customs and duties na around 338 pesos. And then i-add mo pa yung last mile and fulfillment. So which means from the customs, from the port, kailangan pang may logistics cost pa from the port to his warehouse in the Philippines and the 12% VAT in the Philippines. So actually, ang actual profit niya is not 369 but 130 pesos only. So is it worth it or did you see this coming na nag-depreciate at nag-shrink yung what you call this? Nag-shrink yung profit niya at a glance, right? At one glance. And not just the profit kasi he has to speak to the freight or logistics provider, maghahanap siya ng provider na pwedeng mag-ship ng products niya, example from China to the Philippines. And once his shipment arrived in the Philippines, kailangan pa niyang maghanap ng customs broker kasi he has to clear the customs clearance, and then another local logistics partner to get his tumblers from the port to his warehouse. So not only his profit shrinks, nag-shrink din yung time niya, di ba? Kasi he has to talk to different providers for all of these needs. So medyo sumakit yung ulo niya. And tama si Omri Pickleball, he said no. He will not recommend na talagang mag-dive agad si Juan. Kasi nakita siguro ni Omri Pickleball na apart from the factory cost na 130, meron pa palang underlying na mga expenses. So, where did Juan's money go? In reality, the supplier wasn't the biggest surprise, right? So the biggest surprise were freight, taxes, fees, and packaging. So these are something that new sellers might not know and something that you should take into consideration. Okay. Now, we will teach you, every episode kasi gusto namin meron kaming mai-impart sa inyo na points to ponder, so that moving forward, you will optimize your profits. So for this session, we would like for you to know the profit optimization framework. Ano yung step one? You should know your landed cost before placing an order. So there are different kinds of costs na makikita nyo when you try to speak to the suppliers. The first one is yung factory cost, the 130 pesos. Meron din tayong FOB, which means the factory cost plus yung logistics cost from your supplier's factory to your warehouse in China, or to our warehouse in China if it will be through Sourcy. And then we have your landed cost, which is the most important cost that you should know. Landed cost already includes the logistics from the supplier to the warehouse in the Philippines. So don't stop at the factory cost. Know your landed cost. Next, negotiate using business levers, not emotions. So there are multiple aspects or multiple factors that you can negotiate with your supplier. Mamaya, isa-isahin natin to. But at a high level, you can negotiate the terms, the packaging, the Incoterms, yung MOQ tiers, kasi baka mas maganda yung price na makukuha mo if you have higher quantity versus lower quantity. So we will dig deeper into this later. And then finally, optimize, which means restructure your order so the math works. So you can optimize your quantity, you can optimize your shipping method from air freight to sea freight to minimize cost. You can also optimize your pricing until the numbers make sense. So we wrote here that winning sellers don't chase the cheapest provider. They actually build the most profitable supply chain. So you should know how to negotiate. A quick question before we move forward to the next slide, next educational slide. Which hidden cost do you rarely calculate? So, from the hidden, which among these hidden costs yung hindi nyo nakakalculate when you identify your profit? Is it A, freight, B, duties and taxes, C, returns, yung mga potential returns for items that are defective, or D, foreign exchange rate? Kasi 'di ba, if you will be talking to suppliers from outside of the Philippines, they will be sending you proposals or quotations in their local currency. So there is a currency exchange rate difference. So which among these do you rarely calculate when you try to identify your SRP? Type A, B, C, or D in the chat. Okay, let's give one more 30 more seconds in case na nag-iisip pa kayo. Pag nag-chat daw, merong libreng $100 voucher sample. Okay. All right. Okay. So I think we will proceed with our next slide. So in this slide, we will stop using the theory because we will open a real Sourcy quotation. So what you will see after is the actual quotation that we generate for our clients. Okay. I'll show it to you now. Right. So everybody can see my screen, right? Type yes if you can see the quotation in your screen. So silence means yes rin pa rin, no? So we will be going through it. All right. So imagine ganitong quotation yung nakita nyo in your inbox. So I would just like to say that if we create a quotation, we will put the FOB cost so that you can see the FOB cost. And then we will also put the landed cost through air freight or sea freight here para mas clear po sa inyo. And yung landed cost po namin, usually it already includes logistics. It already covers customs clearance and taxes and last mile delivery to your warehouse. So it will be easier for you to make a decision either to go yes or to press the red button or not. Okay, isa-is i-dissect po natin yung quotation. So you can see here, your later if it will be your quotation, you will have your name here, and then it has a different columns. Yung product, the product description, yung actual photo of the product that you want, yung pricing natin, and yung estimated pricing natin based on the currency rate for when the quotation was generated and based on the price, factory price when the quotation was generated. Usually naman po, meron tayong validity date. So for this one, it was generated in July 21. The rates will be valid until August 5. So let's look at the numbers. Most people immediately focus on the FOB price here, right? Kasi sometimes there are two scenarios. If they are enterprise level clients, meron na silang sariling warehouse in China, and then meron na din silang sariling logistics company who will ship their items from China to the Philippines. There is one scenario also like sellers like yourself na wala pang ganon. So don't stick on the FOB, stick on the landed cost here. Always remember that the FOB is just the starting point. So we should look instead at the landed cost under sea freight or air freight. Sea freight usually depending on the logistics partner can take mga 3-4 weeks, and then air freight 3-5 days or 5 to 7 days. Okay, so dito na tayo magka-calculate, guys. All right. So gusto ni Juan ang target niya is to sell around 300 pieces of the tumbler, right? So ang projected selling price niya is 499 pesos. If 499 pesos yung selling price na gusto ni Juan and the landed cost is 153.82 pesos, ano yung magiging margin ni Juan? Can you type on the chat? How much gross margin will he have if the landed cost is 153.82 and the selling price is 499? Ayan. Okay, so I think everybody's calculating pa, but to help everyone, so the gross margin is around 345.18 pesos before marketplace fees, of course. So yung 354.18 pesos, yung landed cost na to already includes logistics, already includes everything. So si Juan doesn't need to find like his logistics partner or customs broker. Everything is included here. So yung gross margin niya is 345.18 pesos versus the 130 pesos from the other provider that we saw earlier. Okay, now you need to compare ordering 300 pieces versus 500 pieces. So can you do the math? 499 minus 138.05. How much is the gross margin? 499 minus 138.05. Okay? Right. So the gross margin is 360.95 pesos. So mas malaki yung margin niya if mas mataas yung orders niya. All right? So but I think that's almost around 8,000 pesos difference from 300 pieces to 500 pieces. So this difference is already something that he saved simply by understanding pricing tiers instead of asking, can you give me a discount? So kasi yung great negotiators based on our experience change the structure of the deal, not just the unit price. Hindi lang siya pumupunta sa supplier to say, hey, can you give me a discount? Pwede bang hindi 153.82, pwede bang 138.05 na lang without any balik in return? So later in the next slide, we will show you what are the aspects or what are the factors that you can negotiate. But I would just like to tell everybody that this landed cost is based on if i-consolidate ni Juan. This is consolidated shipping, which means if you can see here, meron po tayong total delivery fee, air freight and sea freight, which means yung total delivery fee is divided into this quantity, which is around 900 pieces tumblers. Ngayon, if gusto ni Juan na 300 pieces lang talaga, so the 300 the logistics cost will be spread across 300 pieces. So same pa rin yung FOB cost natin, it's 134.94, but the landed cost will be slightly different. So from 153.182, it will now be 168.27, which is slightly different because now yung logistics cost will be spread across 300 pieces. So that's how we tailor our quotation for the client. So it will be easy for you to understand how much money you need to invest in the 300 pieces tumblers and how much margin will you get. Kasi as much as kasi we wanted it to be as transparent as possible and there will be no hidden cost as much as possible. Even the exchange rate, we cover it po. So if there's a change in exchange rate, by the time that you make a decision, provided that it's within the validity period, then that will be within the pricing that we presented in the quotation. Okay, so I will pause here for a minute and then I will check if you have a question so far before we proceed with the next slide. Does anybody have a question? Okay, I think that was easy to grasp. By the way, if you want us to compute for your landed cost and if you want us to quote for any idea that you have in mind or any product that you have in mind, we will be happy to do so. It will be free po for the Lazada sellers. The only time that we will be charging is if you will proceed with a bulk order. And when you proceed with a bulk order, you will receive 5% discount. All right. Okay, if you don't have questions, then we will go through this slide. So remember these 7 negotiation levers. Always remember that professional buyers don't negotiate randomly. They negotiate payment terms, MOQ, packaging, Incoterms, consolidated shipping, sample credits, and benchmark pricing. Each of these levers can improve profitability without hurting your supplier's relationship. Let's go through it one by one. Payment terms, you can actually, example, if hindi na talaga negotiate yung pricing, then you can negotiate for payment terms. Ask them if you can pay them in 30 days or 60 days. With Sourcy, our payment term is actually pay upon order po talaga. But say for example, we have clients who is asking for like a milestone payment na 30 days or 60 days, that's also possible. We are working with a BNPL partner. So for those who will qualify, for those who will qualify, they will be able to like have a 30-day or 60-day payment terms with us. We usually refer them to our BNPL partner. They create their credit line with them, and then we will do the milestone payment. MOQ naman, it's one of the most highly used lever kasi let's always remember, if you saw the quotation earlier, the lesser the quantity, the more expensive it is. The reason is because most of the clients, meron silang tinatawag na material waste. So they will buy this specific material in bulk. And then, if example, 100 pieces lang yung gagamitin mo, and the material that they will be buying is for 300 pieces, hindi na nila magagamit yung remaining material, unused materials. So they will be charging it on top of the cost of the 100 pieces per piece. And then other than that, meron po silang dumping fee. So they cannot just like dispose of the unused materials. They need to pay a specific fee, environmental fee, to dispose of their products. That's why lower MOQ is most of the time priced higher. So you might want to consider asking for a higher MOQ so that you can get better pricing. Packaging option. So yung price po that you saw in the quotation earlier includes like retail ready packaging, individual retail ready packaging based on your customization or may logo ka na, ganon. Pagdating sa Philippines, bebenta mo na lang siya. So that level of packaging. But if you want to reduce cost, pwede din namang hybrid. Sabihin nyo sa supplier that you want to order the items na naka-generic lang siya na packaging kasi dito ka maghahanap ng packaging supplier in the Philippines. That's also something that you can play around with to optimize the cost. Consolidated shipping. Ito po yung nakita niyong dalawang quotations kanina. So if you will consolidate your orders. Example, instead of tumblers lang, you will order another item and then i-ship nyo sila at the same time, and then that will optimize the cost kasi may kahati na sa logistics cost yung mga items ninyo. And then sample credits. There are some suppliers who allow na yung cost of your sample will be deducted from the bulk order. In our case, you have like a $100 voucher that you can use for your first sample. So if your sample is within $100, you can consider it as a free sample. But there are times when nagamit niyo na yung $100 sample voucher and you want to sample again. So most of the suppliers, they will allow na yung cost of sample will be deducted from your bulk order. So you can negotiate that para hindi maging out-of-pocket expense yung first set of sample ninyo. And then this is my favorite, benchmark pricing. So my favorite part of like doing negotiating with the suppliers is if you challenge the price or the cost that they offer to you. One time, real case scenario, so we have a client, binigay niya sa amin yung cost na ganito. Example, 500 pesos. And then what we did is we screenshot the cost of other suppliers, and then we showed it to him, and then we tell him mga 2 to 3 suppliers, and then we tell him, oh, why the supplier A, yung mga price ni supplier 1, 2, 3, it's much lesser than your cost. So can you do something about it? So kung makita na nila na medyo competitive talaga yung offer ng ibang suppliers, then they would usually negotiate the pricing for you. Para yeah, so just tell them this is my benchmark cost and this is what I see in the market. Can you match it? So you can also do that. Challenge the quotation that is being sent to you. Everything is clear po ba so far? Please type yes if everything is clear. Okay. If you have questions, please park it po. We have a question and answer round. Like one slide na lang and then we will do our Q&A. All right, so let us show you a real case study. This is from one of our Thailand-based client. We call called Moonshot. So what they do is they produce these dental products to their clients. One thing that we want to highlight, bakit namin sila ginamit as a case study now, is because how we help this client. So we are able to help this client improve margin by restructuring the order rather than demanding for lower price. So the savings came from better planning and consolidation. So initially they wanted to have like 100 pieces, and told them that if they order 300 pieces, they will get this price. And then we also challenged the cost of the supplier to match the target cost of the client. Always remember na sa Sourcy, we don't have like a set MOQ. The MOQ that we do is based on the MOQ of the supplier. So example, if your MOQ is only 100, we will find the supplier within our database who can provide 100 pieces only. I think this will be helpful, especially for those who are watching right now who plans to build their own brand, or who already has their own brand and who wants to add to their SKUs, or those of you who are watching na nagre-resell lang ng on-stock items and you actually want to add more or trendier items in your store, then you can maximize this. Kasi we can do as little as 100 pieces, 300 pieces, 500 pieces, depending on how much or how many you want to purchase in the beginning to test the market. So that's Moonshot, and that's how we were able to help them. Right now, I'll give it over to Ash so that we can proceed with our Q&A.
Thank you so much, Gail. That's very insightful. So I really hope that everyone may natutunan naman kayo on how you can use different levers to negotiate better pricing with the supplier. Ayan, binigay namin sa inyo yung guidelines. So I hope busog kayo sa information na yon. So now, let's answer your sourcing questions. We are giving the floor to our audiences here today. So feel free to ask about how quotations, the one that you just saw right now. Feel free to ask anything about suppliers and the shipping on or how we can further negotiate better pricing. So this one, we would like to give the floor to our viewers and let us answer them together. We'll brainstorm them with you. Okay? So we'll give you time. Just feel free to write down anything in the chat. Okay, so while waiting for some questions from our viewers, no? So, one of the thing that I would want to ask, baka ako muna, and then Gail can answer. So, Gail, you mentioned something about the MOQ, right? So, what if I'm a starting nag-uumpisa pa lang akong mag-sell and I wanted to test out the market. So if I have a limited MOQ and I need a custom items because I want to put my own brand, ano ba sa tingin mo yung mababang pinaka or what is the usual MOQ that suppliers would ask of me if I need a light customization?
Mm. Good question, Ash. Actually, for tumblers, kahit magtanong ka everywhere, we actually simulated like a survey from other suppliers. Usually for tumblers, it's around 500 pieces MOQ in the beginning. But as you can see, we were able to quote for 300 and 100 because there are a couple of options. It's either A, we really find a supplier na can cater to 300 or 100 MOQ from the average 500 MOQ. B, you can do hybrid. So you can order on stock items from China and then have it printed or have it customized in the Philippines. That's also like an option for you and an option that we can help you with. So bale different yung supplier sa ng on stock item and different din yung supplier ng customization. So that can also work if MOQ is really a challenge. Other than that, oh yeah, so those two options, Ash.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gail. I think that's really helpful, hybrid setup. Yeah, I think we have our first two questions. So we have here from Omri Pickleball. For the $100 sample voucher, is it limited to one supplier and or one product sample only? So this sample voucher, the $100 USD voucher, this is for your total order. It can be from one supplier, multiple supplier from different product. As long as you're not utilizing the whole voucher yet, you can have it. Mhm.
Yeah. And yeah, and to add Ash, good news pa Omni Pickleball because it is renewable every month, right? So every month meron kang $100 yeah, 100 USD sample voucher so you can try out. Hindi siya limited to one supplier and hindi din siya limited to one product. You can apply it to like one sample quotation. So kung sa sample quotation na yon, you have a pickleball bag and then yung pickleball rocket or pickleball ball. Kung magkano yung total nung sample quotation na yon, then we will deduct the $100 voucher there.
That's a better answer. So I hope that's helpful for you, Omri. And kung or send ka ng sample this month, wait ka na lang next month pag naubos mo na yung $100 voucher ngayon, di ba? And then there's another question from Ponder Coffee PH. Wow. Hello. So mostly po ba overseas ang sourcing natin? Yes, most of our products are sourced overseas, but it's not limited to China. Depending on the product that you're actually looking for, we have suppliers that are outside China too. In the Philippines, also, we have suppliers here if you want faster fulfillment or delivery. Yun nga lang, based on our experience, minsan mas mataas talaga yung presyo pag we source locally. So depending on your budget, will match you with the right supplier wherever they are located. Pwedeng nasa India, pwedeng nasa Vietnam, if it's textile. So that's how it works.
Mhm. And if I may add, Ash, for Ponder Coffee, actually the suppliers in our database, what we do is we aggregate the suppliers in different marketplaces. But at the same time, we also have suppliers who are offline, which means these suppliers don't have like are not present in the marketplace, but are equally verified and capable. So we usually meet them during exhibits that we go to, kasi very active si Sourcy to go in different exhibits like the Canton Fair. So there are suppliers there who are not in the marketplace. Also, suppliers that our team actually go to in person to their factories in China. So there are different suppliers, and like what Ash mentioned, the suppliers are also based outside of China. Kasi we are also present in Latin America and in the US, and most of the time mas mataas yung dumping fee ng Chinese products there. So our clients in LATAM ask us to get suppliers from outside of China um, para merong variety. So yeah, it can be outside of the Philippines or in the Philippines depending on your target price.
Yes. And meron lang just wanted to add on that as well, Gail. So if you're all of us, if all of you are sellers here, but maybe your business is to supply different products, let's say for packaging. So we're not just limited to having suppliers outside, right? So if you're a supplier here and selling in Lazada, you can also send us your catalog so we can add you in our database. So then when some business owners are looking for suppliers here in the Philippines, ikaw as a seller here in the local market can be recommended to them. So if you're one of the suppliers here, send us your catalog so we can also increase our database for local supplier.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good opportunity. Because we don't know who you are, what you guys are selling, but this is an opportunity for you guys. If you are suppliers for different items, you can also reach out to us and send your catalog. You don't have to pay any fees just to be included in our database. Yun
Yep.
lang. Yes, and may comment dito si Omri Pickleball. Ayan. So, mukhang masaya si Pickleball dun sa $100 na replenish na replenish every month. So I hope everyone can visit our website no to try the different product ideas that you have in mind. Okay, so wala na bang magtatanong sa atin? Parang gusto ko pang dumaldal at sagutin yung mga katanungan ninyo.
Oh, Ash, I think one frequently asked question lang sa atin. What if meron akong preferred supplier? How can you help me or can you still help me? The answer po is yes. So what we will do is we will benchmark your pricing. We review the quotation for hidden cost. We also calculate your landed cost and identify if there are any negotiation opportunities there. And then we also suggest alternative suppliers if appropriate or if you require para if ever something happens to your current preferred supplier, at least you have options ABC later or backup suppliers. So our goal is to actually help you source more profitably. So if you have current suppliers, that's fine. We can go ahead with that. We can help you check their rates if it's okay and find alternative suppliers.
Yes. Thank you so much, Gail. So, what are you guys waiting for? Take advantage of the free platform right in front of you. So, our link is on the chat box, sourcy.ai. Okay, so if there are no other questions, next week, Juan will finally launch his store. Ayan na. Lalabas na siya sa market. Magpapakita na siya ng kanyang winning product. So we'll cover fulfillment next week, operations and scaling so your business can grow sustainably. Yun naman yung pag-uusapan namin next week. So kayong mga nandito ngayon, we really hope we see you on our last episode. Okay? So, as a Lazada University attendee, you're entitled to a free landed cost analysis. We'll review your quotations, benchmark your pricing, and identify negotiation opportunities. Simply scan the QR code to get started. Visible naman yung QR code. Okay, Omri Pickleball, let's talk. How do we contact Sourcy? How do we contact Sourcy? Okay, so you can actually contact us through our website. So you need to actually put in your product idea there. Say pickleball, just put in your racket product idea, look for different product directions, and then fill in the form with your email, contact number, and your name. And then one of us will be contacting you. So make sure na dun sa form, itag nyo na we met or you got in touch. You got to know Sourcy through an event, which is the Lazada University webinar. Okay, we scan the Sourcy.ai. Okay, please do mention in the form that you guys are from the Lazada live stream. Okay? Okay, wala na ba tayong reaction dyan? How many viewers do we have right now? Pero si Omri lang yung very active in AJ Trading and also Ponder Coffee PH. Yan, mga bagong pangalan. And I'm really excited to get to know you guys. So, without overtime na tayo ng slide, I just wanted to thank everyone who joined us today. And remember this, Juan, me and you did not become more profitable by finding a cheaper supplier. We don't base our sourcing on the price alone. So Juan became more profitable by what? Understanding every peso before placing the order. So we look forward to seeing you on episode 4 next week. Yeah. You could also get in touch with us through our WhatsApp information showing in the screen. Nakikita niyo ba? Yeah. So here we're flashing our WhatsApp number. So get in touch with us through this number if you're shy to put in um, your name or information in the chat. Okay. We'll allow another 3 minutes before we wrap the call. Can we show the previous slide? Maybe people are still. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for our 74 viewers today. Ayan, sana balikan niyo tong session na to. So then you know how to negotiate properly with different suppliers. Okay. I think everyone took our WhatsApp number in the slide. So we want to invite you again for the last time for our last episode next week. So every one of you here, looking forward to have you next week again. So thank you so much and have a wonderful week ahead. Bye, guys.